Hello YouTube, welcome to my coding tutorial. Today we will go over the first few lessons of CS 4100 at Weber State University. This is done in Python, and we will be changing what was done in the course, but a lot of it will be very similar concepts as I walk you through how they work. So, assuming you've downloaded Visual Studio Code, I recommend making a folder for mine. Mine is Python for YouTube. Then you go up here to new text file, you select a language. In this case, we're going to be using Python, and I like to save it immediately. I'm going to make that hello world, which is the very first thing you do in most computer science programs. The .py stands for Python. It is one of many extensions you can use for Python programs. Um, to print something to the user, to print hello world, you just do print. It's super easy. I love Python for this. It was a great starter introduction to programming. And with just that, you can say run Python, run in terminal, and we print hello world. If this was on a web page, this would be your backend for printing something like this to the user. Obviously, there's way more to Python than just this. So the next thing I'm going to go over is comments. Maybe I give line 2 to another user, I give to a friend or a sibling or something, and they don't know what it does. So you can use comments using the hashtag or the pound sign, depending on how old you are, and display some sort of message to just the person coding. So if I run this again, you'll see it only prints out that hello world. Any messages in green in Visual Studio Code slash that pound sign will not show up to the user actually on that web page. So we've done hello world. Let's change this to something else. We'll say welcome to Python, since this is in theory your first time doing Python. And now we are going to print a name. So we are going to give the user, whoever that is, a compliment. So we have to make a variable. So in this case, I'm doing first name. That is what we were going to ask the user to give us. So printing, that just does it automatically. When you use the keyword input, that then takes what the user inputs and then gives it back to you in some sort of fashion. If we're going to do input, you still do those parentheses and you write a message. So we're going to do, what is your first name? If we run this, best practice is to run things pretty much all the time. So you'll see it change to welcome to Python instead of hello world. It says, what is your first name? And we should add a space here so that the text box is not right here. I'm going to say Matthew, and now the program's done. Because we didn't actually do anything with first name. We just grabbed it and then ended the program. If we want to use first name, we can do like print first name. Visual Studio, as you saw there, will actually will try to guess what you're doing and is actually fairly good at it. So if we run this again, now we're printing the variable, not a string called first name, which I can show the difference. You'll see there's also that space there that we added. So we add Matthew, and Matthew is then outputted to the user. If we wanted to do first name as in just the normal text, we can do this. So first name, this blue one is the variable, that's whatever they input. The plus sign means we're combining this and this string. We'll do a space there as well for simplicity. And then this first name should just show up as literally first name. It shouldn't show up as Matthew. So if we do it again, it says, welcome to Python, what is your first name? I'll do Matthew again. And you'll see Matthew space first name. So you'll see that these two things are different, and you want to make sure that you're using the right one for what your program needs. The other way to do this, instead of the plus sign, I prefer the plus, but the other way to do it is the comma. Let's say first name is a great name because everyone should be named Matthew, and pretty much everyone is. With the comma, it should, we'll double check it, but it should with the comma add that space for us. That's just kind of part of how that works. So if I type in Matthew again, you'll see it added that space automatically and says is a great name. Again, I like the plus more. You can put in more variables. I think it looks cleaner to have them all that way. Um, but it's just what you prefer. One other way, one other way you can do this is you can do a printf. And you should be able to put the first name in something like that. You put an F in front, and then you do your variable. So we'll do first name is a great name. We'll do 3 exclamation points so you can see that it's different. We'll actually add that first one in as well, just so you can see the different ways that we do this. We'll do that one with a couple periods. So if we run this in the terminal, we'll put in Matthew, see that they all showed up in 3 different ways, even though like the code is different. If you worked in a job or in the industry, this would be, they would tell you how you want this. But for me, my personal favorite is this first one. If we're going to comment out these other lines, so only the first one will be running so we don't get all this code again. Next up is other variables you can store. For personal use, you can just make the variables yourself. You don't need to get that input from the user. So I have like 10 equals 10. I could even make it like 122. If I print 10, it doesn't know that the word 10 should equal 10. So we'll run this. I have to put in a name again. And you'll see it outputs that 122 from the variable. It doesn't understand that they're the same thing. So we'd have to make this 10 if we wanted it to. You can also you can do math things. So this in Python automatically registers that 10 is supposed to be a int. So we can do like 10 divided by 2, and this should give us, assuming there's no errors, this should give us 5.0. So I guess, sorry, I misspoke. I said it's registering as an int. I think it's actually a float in Python, which is what makes it that decimal point. So if we do divide by 3, this should give us our decimal points where you can force it to cut off. So 3.333, and I don't know why it ends with 5, but that is apparently just the way it is. If I make, and I think it's done this way. I'll have to look in that too, look into that for a future video, but you'll just see that it has that decimal points, and there's ways to restrict it so it doesn't have that. Our final concept for this, I guess we have 2 final concepts for this video. We have abs. This is absolute value. I put in the value -1. This should return with a this should return with a 1, and you can even do math operations with that. It will just automatically register. So we'll do like -1 times 10, the variable we used prior, and this should show up as a 10 as well. Oh, I guess I didn't print this to anything. So we'll say this one should be equal to 1, and this one should be equal to, it should be equal to 10, but we'll call it, yeah, we'll just do that. Normally you'd have your variable names be a little more specific, but just for testing purposes, we will just do that. Oh, sweet. I missed one more thing. I need to actually print out the variables. Try that one more time. And you'll see, yep, we got that 1, we got that 10. And because of the way we're doing this, again, it doesn't show that 0.0 because these are coming out as ints. You'll see it says int right there. I'm in the variable, where this one just, it does it automatically unless we set it to something. Last small error checking thing to note. So if I have the word data equals 12, and then I try to output data, you'll see it gets angry because it doesn't know that this data and this data is the same. Python is case sensitive, so you'll see that even if I do like data this way, it will not work because it has to be the exact same. And there's reasons for that, but we won't get into that in this video. Thank you for watching.